All right, YouTube, we're here to give you a second look at the two different planes. Esteban's plane is a DG-505, and my plane is an ASH26, sorry, ASH26. Okay, I wanted to show you the difference. This is a CMPro, which is a Chinese company that's out of business, and this is Flyfly. And when we did the unboxing, I had thought maybe this is pretty heavy, but I didn't want to say something negative about it without knowing that it's actually heavy. Well, we did some checking. Let me give you an example. Here's my wing. To its defense, this has an air brake pocket that is not going to have an air brake in it and an aileron. His wing is a different design of wing. It's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit shorter, okay? A little bit shorter, a little bit longer here, a little bit shorter here, okay? It has flaps instead of an air brake. Let's look at the weight difference. We just calibrated the scale. If you want to just get a shot of this, his wing is, we're going to do this in grams, 323.6 grams for this wing. So remember that, 323 grams. My wing on the ASH26, 203 grams, guys. Let's look at the difference. The difference, of course, would be a lot. Look at that, guys. The difference in weight in one wing alone is 120 grams. Look over here, Esteban. That plane there, that plane weighs less than 100 grams. Okay, I realize that size matters when it comes to weight comparisons, but just to give you an idea of how big of a difference there is there. Now, let's take that 100 grams and let's consider that times 2. So we're at least conservatively about 250 grams different now between those two wings. The other wing is a little bit heavier. Okay. To his defense, this is my horizontal stabilizer and elevator. That thing will not flex unless it's braking, okay? It's solid. This is his horizontal stabilizer. Look at the size difference. His plane is technically bigger than mine. Design differences, fine, whatever. This thing flexes. Only a little bit. It's still way better than foam. But let's look at the weight difference. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just pressing the tear button. Okay, my wing is heavier because it's bigger. It weighs 40 grams, okay? For my horizontal stabilizer and elevator. His is 23. Okay, so you save 7 grams on this from mine, okay? So now you're up to like 240 grams heavier than my plane. Approximately the same wingspan. Mine's actually a little bit more, but your wing it's got a longer wing root. Now, fuselage is really where it starts adding up, okay? First of all, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to add my landing gear with a rubber tire. I'll probably replace that with a foam tire. And some more suspension work for the landing gear. That being understood, I'm just going to set that in here just to add the weight. Okay, so we're at 0. This might be a little tricky to balance because it's going to want to fall over, okay? All right, there you go. 387 grams, okay, for this big fuselage, okay? That's everything, all in. No, we'll put the canopy on it. Sorry. Okay, just balancing it here, guys. There we go, 430 grams. Okay, 430 grams here, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That seems right. Okay, so we're 430 grams on mine. Now yours, we don't have any landing gear assembly because it didn't come with any retractable landing gear, so we're just going to measure this. So remember, 429 or 430, or what was that?
430.
Okay. 506. So there's another 75 grams. So you are 300 plus grams heavier on the same plane. Keeping in mind that mine also has a motor mount in it, which means I'm going to have an electronic motor in here. I'm going to have an ESC, and he will also eventually have one. And he's going to have a power pod initially, I think is what we're going to do. We're going to try to tow it with a timber, or we're going to do a power pod. But the idea is, one other thing that we haven't considered is the winglets. My winglets, I remember thinking, man, those things are light. They're made of plastic. These things are the ones that you have on your plane. So let's just go ahead and compare them. By the way, we're at 0.05 graduations for the grams. So that's a very small graduation. Okay, so we're 25 grams for these two winglets. So these two are 25 grams off of his plane, and then these are off of my CMPro. Look at that, 16. So get a shot of this. These two things, guys, are going to add to a whole servo. Well, a small servo. That's a big difference. When you start talking weight in planes, all this stuff adds up. Now, what can we take away from this? When I review a plane, it's almost always discontinued. Just for extra excitement, so that you can't go buy it. Like half the planes I reviewed. This one you can buy still. But we were just discussing the fact that the new planes compared to the old planes, like what the heck were they thinking? They made it a ton heavier. So we'll have to wait and see if this beautiful, awesome plane is outdone by this heavy, but yet still awesome, beautiful dog. We're gonna see though, guys. Don't you forget to like and subscribe, because it's gonna be awesome when it happens.